guys, so another month is at an end and lots of reading has been done, so here I am to do a monthly reading wrap up. I definitely got a lot more reading done this month than I have been doing in the past, so it's exciting to have a few things to show you. Let's start with the one graphic novel I read this month, and that was Rat Queens Volume 2. Now, I mentioned this in my monthly favourites because I really enjoyed this volume in the series, so I won't say much about it here, but Rat Queens is a series that follows a group of female magical creatures who fight other sort of threatening magical creatures in this fantasy universe on behalf of their town when they're paid to. And although they kind of have this heroic role in the storyline, they're all quite unlikable in their own way. They're very brash and not very popular amongst the other citizens of the town, but they're very likeable as characters to read about. They're so much fun. They're just really nice, interesting female characters with multiple layers, and I feel like you got more of an insight into their background and everything in this volume, so that was really interesting and I can't wait to see where the story goes. Whilst I'm briefly mentioning books that were in my monthly favourites, I also read Tom Holt's Portable Door this month. Absolutely adored this book. I have finished it now and I could not put it down. As soon as I was finished, I felt that real like book hangover where you just can't even start another book because you miss this one so much, and I haven't had a book hangover in such a long time. But thankfully there is a sequel and I have ordered it. This is a comic fantasy book about a young man who gets a job at a mysterious firm, but I have filmed a complete review of this one and it'll be up in a couple of days, so I won't say any more. I also read Rivers of London by Ben Aronovich. I'd actually started this before this month began, but I finished it off this month and I've done a full review of this one as well, so I'll link that in the description box so you can check it out. Really chipped nail varnish, sorry. This one's also a magic realism fantasy book. In this case, our protagonist being a police detective who kind of helps solve magical crimes in the city of London, and I had slightly more mixed feelings about this one. There's some elements I really liked, some elements I really didn't like, and if you want to know more about that, then check out my review. I then read 3 classical plays. First read 2 comedies by Aristophanes. As I said I would, I have read Lysistrata, and I also read Assemblywomen. Out of the two, I definitely preferred Lysistrata, but I really enjoyed both of these plays. First Aristophanes play I read from beginning to end was Clouds, and to be honest it was quite disappointing, and I had a kind of bad opinion or bad experience of Aristophanes around that time, but I'm so glad I got around to reading these two because they were phenomenal comedies and just show the sort of array in his work. Lysistrata in particular was just hilarious. It's about the women in Greece who want their husbands to stop fighting wars amongst all the different Greek city-states, so decide to employ abstinence as a technique to get their husbands to come back from the war and make peace treaties. So no sex until the war ends. For a purely entertaining purpose, it is very funny, but it's also very interesting to me as a classicist, and Assemblywomen 2 was good. I then read one tragic play, and that was by Euripides. I read Hippolytus, which is about a young man who's angered Aphrodite because he has chosen to not have sex, which obviously annoys Aphrodite because he's not showing her the proper reverence. So to punish him, she makes his stepmother fall in love with him. And I won't say any more in case you don't know the myth, but it was really good. I really enjoy Euripides' tragedies. I think they're probably the most entertaining tragic plays to read by themselves, and this was a good one. Not my favourite one, but a good one. And then I finished off my reread of the Harry Potter series by reading books 1, 2, 3 and 5. Not in that order at all. I think I read 3, 5, 2, then 1. A couple of you commented on my last wrap up where I said I had reread 3 of the Harry Potter books and noticed that I've been reading them, and also on Goodreads noticed that I've been reading them out of order. There's no particular reason for this. I think it's just because at this point I have reread these books so many times that to kind of follow the plot and the characters I really don't need to read them in order. In fact, occasionally if I'm just in the mood or kind of sad and just want to pick me up, I will just stick on an audiobook at a random chapter or pick up a random place in a book of Harry Potter and just read that. It's more the kind of comfort and familiarity that I enjoy about these books, and so that's why I read them all completely out of order. I just read them as I fancied reading them, but I didn't actually read them. In saying that, I listened to them all on audiobook, as I did with the last 3 in my last video. But that's everything I had to show you in this month's wrap up. If you've read any of these books and want to chat about them, then please leave a comment down below, and if there's any particular standout books from your month of reading this month, then let me know about those as well. Always love a good recommendation. But if I had to pick a favourite book of the month, it would definitely be The Portable Door by Tom Holt. So good. And until next time, happy reading, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye guys!